Good evening, everyone. I welcome you to tonight's episode of Through It All. If you are new on the program, Through It All is all about giving people hope. Through It All is all about encouragement. It's all about letting you know that whatever you are going through, it's not something that is not common to others. That means that others too have gone through what you are going through at the moment, or what is really still holding you captive. Somebody else has been through it, and then God has taken them to the other side of the whole thing, and they are living victoriously. All right, so Through It All is all about giving you hope and comfort and encouraging you that the Lord is always there, and He has your back. All right, so if you are new here, please write it in the comment section so I will know you are new on Through It All. For everybody new on the program, I send a free copy of my book to them, the soft copy this time around. And I haven't mentioned my book. This is the book, Through It All. That's where we got the name of the program. Through It All is the memoir of my many trials and triumph. It's because I've been through a lot of challenges in life and troubles and hardships. That's why I know that whatever you are going through also, it's not going to last. I don't care how long you've been in it. The Lord is going to bring you out of it in the name of the Lord Jesus. All right. So if you're interested in the book, visit tia.com.ng. You can download the soft copy immediately, and if it's the hard copy, just order for a copy and it will be shipped to you no matter anywhere you are in the country. And if you are outside the country, just go on Amazon, look for Through It All by Kolo Olugodi, and you can always get a copy of Through It All there. So once again, welcome to tonight's episode of Through It All. Of course, tonight's episode is like a sequel to the episode of Kike Lomo Adebi. Sister Kike was here like some weeks ago, and she shared a story of how she was actually severally molested and abused by one of her uncles. And of course, the parents never knew. She grew up with that, and then she had the complex, she had the phobia. But thank God that she met Christ, and at the point she was able to pour her heart to someone, and then she found her deliverance, so to speak, and she found hope to move on with her life. Of course, she went ahead she's married to a very wonderful brother, Brogbenga Adebi, and they are blessed with 3 wonderful daughters. The first daughter is married, and so they are now grandma and grandpas. Thank God that she was able to come out eventually on the long run to tell us what happened when she was just a young girl. But I know that there are a lot of people out there that have also suffered abuses of several of different types. Sexual abuse this time around is what I'm particular about. You are in your 20s, you are in your 30s, you've never told anyone. you are still carrying the guilt that it happened, and some of you are still going about with the lies that the person that abused you told you. Some of them tell you that if you tell anyone your mother will die, your father will die. To you, you are trying to protect your parents from dying. So you still carry the burden of what happened when you were just a young girl. You still carry it even at 20s, your 20, your 30s. You understand? So tonight's episode is going to be a deliverance to everyone. Whether you're a young girl or you're a teenager or you're a youth outside there, you may even be married. And anytime you and your husband come together, something in you is telling you that I'm committing a sin because somebody defiled you and abused you when you were younger. I'm trusting God that tonight the Lord will deliver you in the name of the Lord Jesus. All right, the story coming to my heart is the story of two children of King David, Ammon and Tamar. Ammon was the guy, Tamar was the girl, and they were given birth to by different mothers. And Ammon said he was in love with Tamar, and he arranged how this innocent sister of his from another mother was going to bring food to him. And when the poor lady that the king instructed to do food and bring to her sick brother, when he came in, the guy asked that people should go out, and then he locked the door and he was going to rape her. And the Bible says she was a virgin. Of course, the lady said, no, don't do this thing. Don't do this thing that will make you will just defile the whole place. Say, if you ask the king that that you wish to marry me, he won't deny you. Of course, those days you can do that. But Amnon, he went ahead being the strong guy. The Bible said he overpowered her. He raped her. And suddenly, after raping her, all the I love you just disappeared. That's where the area that paid me most in the whole story. That's in 2 Samuel chapter 13, verse 15. Amnon hated her with intense hatred. In fact, he hated her more than he had loved her. Amnon said to her, get up, get out. It was like, I've used you, finish. Let me use Yoruba English. I finished using you. Get up and get out from this room. And the lady said, Toh, even you sending me out is now worse than even you raping me. And the guy just sent for his servant and they bundled the lady and threw her out. And the Bible says she was a virgin. The daughters of the kings are virgin. They have this ornament or not ornamented robe. And when she got out, she tore the robe because she was no more virgin. She tore that which was precious. That means something inside of her died. The unfortunate thing, the Bible said Tamar ended up in the house of her own blood brother, Absalom, and she was never married. Just because one useless brother called Amnon, defiled her. All right. So, each time I read that story, the emotional thing comes over me. Of course, it led to it was a ripple of effect, incidences. Eventually, Absalom killed Amnon because he defiled his sister. All right. So, it's not just that, Shebi, I just slept with you. There are a lot of other things that come with it. And so tonight, if you have been defiled, if anybody has abused you, whether it's one cousin or your uncle, and I understand that it may even be your father. The Lord will deliver you tonight in the name of the Lord Jesus. Is going to set you free in Jesus' name. All right. So after Sister Kike Lomo had a episode on Through It All, I remembered an organization that all they do is to create awareness against sexual abuse among the young ones, among teenagers, you know. So it just occurred to me that I need to bring them on Through It All to come share some of their experiences on the field. And then, of course, we talk about some of the things we need to do to really curb all this problem of relatives abusing and defiling these creatures of God. All right, so I have three of them with me this this evening, and I'm going to bring them to the screen. Dr. Nathaniel Oni is the one in charge of the organization. The acronym is SCOUT. So they're going to tell us what SCOUT is. And so, Dr. Oni, welcome to Through It All, sir.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, our audience. Thanks so much for having us, sir.
You're welcome, sir. So my second representative from Scout, her name is Lolade Lawal. So Star Lolade, welcome to Through It All.
Good evening, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thanks for having us, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for agreeing to come on Through It All. The last
It's a pleasure.
but not the least, is somebody very close to me. She's been my guest, I think, twice on Through It All, and she's always my regular guest in the house. Other person than Antonio Olubodi. All right. So, Mrs. Olubodi, good evening. Welcome again to Through It All.
Good evening, sir. Thanks for having us.
It's so
Good
nice.
evening, all.
Thank you. It's so nice to have the three of you here. So I know that I'm okay. I will get enough information from the three of you. So let's start with what Scout is. When you out, what does the acronym stand for, and what is the history behind Scout? I think Dr. One, I want you to take that.
Okay. Good evening, sir. Good evening, our audience, once again.
Before you take that, I want you to properly introduce yourself to us. Who are you? Do
Okay. Good evening, sir. Good evening, our audience, once again. Like Daddy has introduced me, my name is Nathaniel Oni. I'm a consultant pediatrician at Federal Medical Center, Beokuta. I'm also a fellow of West African College of Physicians. By the grace of God, I serve in the capacity of the national coordinator for SCOUT, which is an acronym, which full meaning means Sexual Counseling Outreach Team. SCOUT is an arm of School of Virtue, also known as SOV. The serving overseer or the founder of SOV is our pastor, Pastor Shegun Kuka. And by the grace of God, SOV has is like an umbrella body with different arms. Is a non-denominational and a Christian non-governmental organization, and we have different arms. which involves, there is an arm that deals with married people. We have a program for them.
Okay.
Called is an arm for the singles, the National Singles Summit, the National Ladies Camp. There is an arm Scout, which is sexual counseling outreach. And we have different arms. So for the sake of time, let me just stick to Scout. So Scout, what we do is that we go to secondary schools, we go to churches, we go to mosque, we go to markets, we go to different places to talk to young ones about how they can be the best that God wants them to be, and how they can run away from distractions, which most often time comes as sexual perversions among the youth. So that's where we stress the more, because majority of them are into these sexual perversions and don't know that they are gradually getting away from what God intends that they be, from fulfilling their vision, from fulfilling their purpose by going into all these sexual perversions. And the angle that Scout also comes in to be a little different from other bodies is that we have a one-on-one counseling fora. That is, most times we go to the schools, we talk to those students, and then after talking to them, we entertain questions and answers. And beyond that, we create an avenue where some of the students can talk to us one-on-one, because we realize that many of the students already know some of these things that we want to talk about. But the major challenge is that a lot of people are crying inside. This is our t-shirt, and you can see on it, "Cry out, not in, talk to me." So that's the major angle that we come in. We counsel these students one-on-one. Some of them have come to share so many things with us that they will never share with their parents. And going beyond that, we keep their confidentiality, and we also try to help as much as possible. Some of the help might involve taking such supposed victims away from that environment where they are being abused. And Scout has gone further to also take some of these victims to school hostels and also to a home, so to say, like a foster home, where we care for these students, pay some of their hostel fee, and give some other help like that. So we also talk to parents too. Work is enormous, really. But for the sake of time, I would like to stop at that. That's what we do basically, sir.
Thank you so much, Dr. Oni. Thank you for the um, comprehensive introduction of Scout. All right. So, Lolade, let me talk to you next. Like when Doctor was talking, he was talking about visiting the schools and all those things. So, let's have an idea of when you visit the schools. Dr. Nia has told us that you hear things. I mean, those children tell you things that they won't even tell their parents or somebody else. What's the experience like?
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir. We give God praise for grace. Okay, now the burden for going to secondary schools was born out of some things we went through when we were like them. So that some of us that got our hands burnt, they won't do the same. And some that are experiencing same, they will see somebody that went through it and has come out. And they can be encouraged and strengthened to come out of the mess they are in. So what we do that is separate from what others do to the glory of God when they go to secondary schools is we don't preach at them. We share our stories. We share our stories. It's not like we are preaching, do this, do this. No, we don't preach at them. We don't condemn them. We share our stories. We share what we went through personally. Some of us that were abused that got into one or two things, we share it so that it makes them to come out en masse to share what they are going through to us and come out for counseling, like Dr. Oni said, come out for one-on-one counseling, and they are pulled out of their whatever they are going through to the glory of God. So the experience has been it's always an emotional time, but because we are trained, we don't allow our emotions to come to show. We just take it in, even though we feel like crying, even though we feel like screaming, even though we feel like expressing ourselves because of what they are going through. But we just keep that in, and by God's grace, counsel them. And by God's grace, we have several results of people that have been brought out of their issues. Like what we do personally, when I left, I was abused immediately when I was necessary. And I don't shy away from telling. I don't think there is any I don't think there is any school that have gone through that don't know what my story was. So it helps them to open up, because most of them, they feel like nobody understands them. They feel like, because some of them, when they tell their parents tell them they are lying. Their parents tell them, you forced. How did you get there? You forced yourself. You forced yourself on the boy. You are an adult. You are this. You are wayward. How did you? I don't believe you. Most of them, their parents don't believe them. But by the time they hear us sharing our stories and they see us that this is my scar, and I'm showing you, and I didn't stay in the scar. I didn't continue, because most people have this notion that immediately you are disvirgined or you are abused, you must continue. You can't stop. It's not possible for you to stop at all. You must continue in doing that. No, we tell them no. We have somebody that had a baby when she was in secondary school, and she follows us and she shares that day. Many girls in that school that have aborted, unknown to their parents, unknown to their teachers, came to see her. And to the glory of God, we have been trained. They are confident.
All right. So Tony will continue from where Lolade stopped. Right. So Tony, I want you to continue from where Lolade stopped. She was trying to explain some of the things that happen in the school, and then of course I want to. I know most of our viewers are going to actually be primarily the parents. So I really want us to really be very practical in sharing some of the things that you've experienced out there on the field. And of course, I know you watched Kike Lomo Adepi's episode of Through It All. So I want you to take it from that point.
Okay, thanks so much once again. Out there, when you go for outreaches, just like Lolade said, we will meet with a lot of cases. But I would just like to refer to one or two, bringing in the aspects of the parents alongside with it. Most of the time, if not all the time, some of these our parents, they are not aware of what is really going on with their children. They are not at all. Some of them, they were aware. Maybe there was a case of a girl, she informed the mom about the person abusing her. But because the person abusing her is like the person sponsoring the girl in school. So the woman just said, keep quiet. You can't say this one out. If you say it out, that means you are not going to school again. So when the mom said like that to the girl was so bittered because she couldn't run to any other person. The person that she felt she should talk to just shut her down. So we go into the school, and at that point, she broke down. She told us everything about what has been going on. with that uncle that she was staying with. And because of the training we had, for some of us that day, really, they were so annoyed to the point that they were saying a lot of things. But at the end of the day, we had to call the mom to let the mom know that this and this that you are doing is not the best for this child. You are destroying the future of this poor girl. And there are times that this our wonderful audience, this our teenagers, some of them will tell us and they will say, please don't tell my parents. Please don't involve my parents. I just want to speak out. Maybe I will be healed. If we try to go to press further that we want to call the parents, at the end of the day, we will blame ourselves. Because once the panel is set and you ask the girl to talk, she will deny everything. She would deny and say, no, I didn't tell them anything. No, nothing like that is happening to me. So we will need their consent in inviting whosoever, either the uncle, because there are some cases that we need to hand over to the welfare board, the state welfare organization. At times, we get to that level because we want to take over the victim either from the father. Most of the time is the cases of the father to the daughter, the father abusing the daughter. So we will hand to handle the man and for us to have a kind of grief over the girl, over the when the girl is talking, we'll be very like there was a case that the girl was bent on committing suicide.
Toyin, for the angle you brought into it. Now, you see what I want us to do now. I want the parents. I know majority of the people watching this episode now, majority of them are parents, not even the young children that have been abused. I want us to maybe one or two experiences. I want the three of you. Doctor, I will start with you. Two vivid experiences that you have encountered on the field. Then I will come to Lolade. You share two vivid experiences of, what are those things what are the nature of what these children told you? What happened? Who is the culprit, so to speak? You understand? You know. So let me start with Dr. Oni.
Okay, thank you so much once again. There's this vivid example that comes to mind. I can remember this 11-year-old boy, JSS1 boy, that we met when we went to school. And during one-on-one counseling, he came to me and he said, sir, something is going on with me. I can't share with anybody. I said, you can share with me. So he said his mom has this friend who happens to be like the best friend to the mom, who comes to their house to spend the weekend, maybe once in 2 weeks or once in a month, thereabout, in their house. So he said that anytime this friend of the mom comes around, the mom will just tell the friend, oh, go and sleep in so-so-so's room.
Is that a
So
male
the
friend
mother,
or a female friend?
a female friend. The boy is a boy. So the mom will just tell her friend, go and sleep in so-so-so's room. So the boy now said, anytime she comes to my room, she will undress herself. She will ask me to be rubbing her body. At times, she will ask me to sleep on top of her, removing my clothes. But somewhere within me, I feel it's wrong. It's not right. What can I do, sir? So when I heard that, one of the things we've been taught is that you don't show your expression. You don't show that you are surprised at whatever the boy is telling you. Yeah, so you just keep it and then you flow on. So I said, okay. I said, first of all, I'm happy that you are coming out to share. It takes courage to share. Many people will just keep to themselves. And then I said, secondly, I'm happy that you realize that there's something wrong in what the woman is telling you to do. I said, have you informed your mom at any time? He said, no. I said, why? He said, I'm just afraid to tell my mom. I don't know how she will take it. Or that woman is her best friend. I don't know what she will do. I said, but is your mom not aware of all this? He said, my mom is not aware. She doesn't even know that something like that is happening. She just feels that once she comes to my room, we lock the door till the following morning. She's not bothered. So at that point, we went into counseling, and eventually I was able to convince the boy to inform the mother. So after because when we go for outreaches like that, we do what we call follow up. So we go to that school after some months. So after some months, we went back to the school. So fortunately I saw the boy and I asked him, what happened to the case that you told me about? He said, he's glad to tell me that he informed his mom, and then the mom stylishly devised a means to get this woman red-handed. Maybe the mom planted the video in his room or something. I don't know. He said the mom got the woman red-handed and the woman was prosecuted. That she no longer comes to their house. Now the mom believes him whenever he tells the mom that this is what he's going through. And so that's one case I remember vividly. And maybe if time permits us, we talk about the aspect of the parents. The second case that I also remember vividly, there's this girl that during the course of outreach, she told us that she's been sexually abused by her dad. And that she said it looks like the father is using some occultic charms on her. That what she realizes that she knows when the thing is about to start, when the father says, come to my room, or the father comes to her room, but that's the last thing she remembers. And that the next thing she sees is that she sees that her Honda is wet. And after some few minutes, and that this has been going on over and over. So she came during counseling. This lady I'm talking about went to one of our ladies. I don't know if it was Mrs. Ololade Lawal she went to, because she will remember the case vividly. Because most times when we do counseling, we always like boys to be counseled by the men and the girls to be counseled by our ladies or our women. So to cut the long story short, we had to stylishly take this girl away from that house because the mom and the dad are divorced. So the mom is staying somewhere far away. She's in Abeokuta with her dad and I think one or two other siblings. So we stylishly called the father, try and get the mother too. That was very difficult. So we had to go through the school, through the principal, that what if we decide to get this girl to the school hostel? It's a temporary measure, but I think it will help a little, because I know someone will say, what happens during holidays? The girl will go back to the house. But it was a temporary measure that we were able to do then. So we got the girl out of the house. She's staying in the hostel now. And then Scout is paying for our hostel fee. And we've been doing that for some years. And we pray to get a lasting solution, really. But that's two cases I can remember vividly. I would like to stop here for others to also contribute, sir.
Dr. Oni, thank you for those cases. Um, of course, I want the viewers at home and then the parents, more especially the parents. We are not sharing this story because I just love stories. I just want some of you to realize that a lot of things are happening under your roofs and you know nothing about it. The lives of your children are they are being destroyed right under your nose. And like Jacob said, and I know it not. You know it not. Unfortunately, who else would your children trust? if not you? Some parents, their children are now reacting to the things that happened when they were young because you were not there, or because you handled it in a very careless way. A daughter is reacting to her mom. Please don't come to our house. It's not you that will take care of my children when I give back to them. The mother is saying, this child, you don't know how much I've suffered over you. Mommy, you don't know how much that daughter had suffered under your nose. You were not there. So please, when you hear these stories, I want the parent there. Don't now go and sit to yourself and say, you too. Say, even that will be wrong.
Very wrong.
It's love. You understand? It takes love. And some of you that say have young teenagers or young people at home, and you just assume and say, oh, my children are okay. It's good to assume, but like the business I do, with your assumption, try and find out the truth. You understand? All right. And if by chance any of the children have been abused, if you are listening to this, that is not the end for you. You understand? God is not angry at you, not sin. You were not the one that sinned. It's that man or that lady that defiled you or abused you that sinned. So you need to speak out, like what is written on Dr. Oni's t-shirt. Cry out, not in. Talk to me. And I'm also becoming scout from today. Stop crying inside. Mommy, you don't know what to do. Talk to me. Talk to me. Call Olubodi. My number is 08026 143683. Talk to me. And if I don't know what to do, I will pass you on to the professionals, the scouts. All right. Lolade, you are sharing 2 quick experiences with us, and then I will move to Toyin Olubodi. All right. So Lolade.
Sir. Thank you, sir. I quickly want to say that one of the main issues that we are having is most of these parents were themselves abused. So most of them feel powerless. They feel like it's a norm, like, can a girl do without being abused? So that's the reason why most of them are not proactive in acting. So I just quickly want to chip that in.
I think that's so important. Wait, Lolade. I think what you just said is very, 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 is very valid, because a woman, a mom that was also abused, that didn't know what to do about it, and she grew up to to keep living with it, would not know what to do when it happens to the children. You understand? So what that means is that there are some mothers outside there that also need to talk out. You have suffered
Yes, sir.
long enough. Time for you to speak out. If you don't speak out, there is a high probability you won't know what to do when your children fall in the same situation you found yourself when you were young. So Lolade, thank you for sharing. Okay, so you can move on.
Okay, so thank you, sir. 2 cases that are coming to my mind is that of a very young, cute girl, very young, cute, short girl, a GSS one, not in a government school, but a private school, well-paid private school. She wrote a question and we told her to come and see us. It's our mom's younger brother living with them under their roof that's abusing her every night. A young girl, short, cute, very beautiful, very small girl. So when she came to, I was the one that counseled her. So I told her, I hugged her. One of the things we were trying to do, we make them to trust us. So I hugged her. She was crying. I was rocking her until she calmed down. So I told her that we need to tell mommy about this. And she started crying again that no, my uncle is good. And then I had to keep quiet. So when she calmed down, I now had to sit her down and tell her that your uncle is eating your mom's pepper and salt in quote, just as Yoruba say it, and he's still stabbing your mom, and he's still doing your mom evil. I had to reorientate her on the evil that man, that uncle is doing to her, that it is evil for him to be able to even lay his hands on you. So that was when she now agreed to tell the mom. So to the glory of God, by the time I didn't want to go. She said she would tell the mom herself, and she did. The next time that we went to the school, she told me that same night that we came, the uncle came again. And she immediately, the uncle came, she was able to stand up against him and say it was not going to happen. So the uncle was shocked that how is this tiny girl able to tell him that, get out of my room, get out of my room, get out of my room. And that was how the episode stopped, and she went ahead to tell her mom too, and the guy had to leave the house, to the glory of God. Another one that is coming to my mind is also this one is in a government school. The girl and other students are living under the custody of a woman. I think they are much there. The girl stays in Ifo, but the school is there in Abeokuta. So they are much. Maybe it's like an hostel arrangement, I don't know, but they are much in that house. And the particular son of that woman abuses them. The way she was telling me, it's as if he stabs them round, and it's as if most of them know it, but they can't say anything because they are at the mercy of the woman. If they should say anything, they have to go back to Ifo and where they came from, and they won't have the access to the school they are in and all. And it was a shocking thing. And I now asked her she said I should please not do anything. She said I should please, those are the places where we are handicapped. She said I should please not do anything, that she knew what to do, that she already knew that it was evil, that she was not going to allow that to happen again. But she was already I think she was in SS2. So she now promised me that she was going to be wearing trousers to sleep and all. And after that SS3, she was going to leave the house. But if she would go ahead because we were ready to prosecute the guy. I wanted to get the information of the house and all. I told her that I wanted to record so that we could go ahead and prosecute. But she said that she please, that the mama, something and all. So those are places where we are handicapped, where the victim is pleading that we should please not do anything. That she just came to open up so that she would let out her mind, but the issue was not going to happen again. And the such cases are happen. So what we could only do is to just pray and trust God that it will. Then we go ahead and now follow up, make them friends. By the time I went back, she said, Auntie, she has even left the place.
Okay.
Let me just stop there, sir.
Thank you so much, Lolade. All right, so let me take two from Tony also.
Okay, thank you, sir. The fresh one is a case that I handled like 3 or 4 weeks ago. We've been going to this particular school for like 2 years now. And I think it was our second visit to the school that the girl opened up to the team. I was not part of the team that went that time. So there has been constant follow-up on her. What really happened was that every holiday she would go to her grandma's place. So from her grandma's place, there is this uncle in her grandma's place. that he will just come with his phone playing pornography. Just open the site, showing her a lot of things, porn, every act, all forms of sexual acts, just to arouse the girl. And after that, he will try to find his way to the girl. So every time that this girl goes to grandma's house, that happens. So when it was time for this, I think she grew up to an extent that her mom now gave her food. So she now got addicted to porn. She has her own separate room. She will now open porn and will start masturbating. And she's so addicted to it that she does it almost every day with her phone. She will look at any form of act and she will try it with herself, by herself. So she opened up and there's a constant visitation, follow up on her. She will just say, I have done it again. I don't know how to stop. I have done it again. So this, like 4 weeks ago that we went, she came out again for counseling. So some of our people that have been there that counseled her earlier, now counseled her again, and they now passed her to me. And as we were talking, I just told her, no, you need to inform your mom. Since you stay with your mom and you are the only child of your mom, single mother, and she's doing the best for you to have a very good future, you need to let her know. She answered frigidly. She said, yeah, no, my mommy will kill me. My mommy will have it. But you said you want to stop. You don't know how to stop. The only thing you can do is to expose these acts. Once you expose this act, you will see that the test for it would reduce and your mom will keep a word to you. So by his grace, she just said, it's okay. I will tell my mom. So I now asked her, how do you want to tell her mom? She now said, call my mom now. I want to tell my mom now, not that when I get home. I said, you mean I should call your mom with my phone? She said, yes. And at the point, she said, no, don't call her again. So I had to work on her, try to let her see that that is the only thing that will help her at that point, because we've been on her for like a year. So at the end of it all, she agreed that I should call her mom. I called her mom and she picked the call. She collected the call from me. She now talked to her mom. Mommy, this has been happening to me for years. Anytime I go to grandma's house, this is what really happens. She mentioned the name of the uncle. And I now collected the phone from her to counsel the mom. So I talked to the mom. I advised her. I told her, it's not for you to shout at her when she gets home. It's not for you to think that she's a bad girl. Thank God that she's opening up. So the therapy that you need for her is to show her love. Let her see that it can happen. And once she has said it, yes, you are going to help her. I just talk to her, and it was towards the holiday. It is when they resume that I'll be able to follow up on her. But I trust the Lord that the mom will handle it very well, because she sounds like a good Christian, as a child of God. The second one that is coming to my mind again is it's still the issue of phone with our children, especially the teenagers. We have given them the phone maybe because of for convenience, for security reason. You want to know where they are, you want to know how they are faring. But what they are doing with the phone passes what you are expecting from them. So when they hold the phone, this one is a GS2, very small girl in a very good private school. She has a room to herself. I think that one too is a problem for us, giving this our younger one separate room. So every time when she's good night, mommy, she's already with her phone going to porn sites. And after, she would go to the act, masturbating. So I counseled her and I tried to follow up on her. She said she has stopped. But she has stopped at times. For you to really know, it's like at times to us is because you have the Spirit of God. For us, to me, most of the time it's like They are saying that because they don't want us to visit it again. But this other girl, she refused that we should not involve the parents. She said, no, I don't want my parents to know that anything like that. I promise that I'm going to stop. I've seen her like 1 or 2 times after that, and she said she has stopped, that God is helping her. So issue of phone too with our younger ones is an issue that God should help us to add. Thank you very much, sir.
Well, thank you so much, Tori. From what you have said, um, for some of us, because you just want to just have your own time, you just send your children on holiday anywhere, and you don't check back. You don't even ask. You call for, like we call in business, for postmortem or feedback. So what happened over there? And all these things and all these things. I remember when my daughter was still very much younger, and it was almost an issue between myself and my mother-in-law. We're in the same contract over. And my spirit was not just releasing her. I just felt she was just too young to just be released to go spend holiday or spend weekend anywhere. Because when I knew she was at least relatively matured enough that I actually allow her to go out. And that going out comes with some pep talk must happen before you go. And when she goes over there, of course, we talk almost morning and evening. We are checking papers, not because one is afraid. There's some of us are so careless. Anywhere you can send your children to so that you can be free, that type of a thing. You don't know you're doing wrong. You don't know you're doing wrong. All right. And of course, my son that is now working, he didn't get a phone until he gained admission to the university. I know for some of you, just wait for them to finish their WAEC or school cert, then you hand over a phone to them. And like Elisha, we ask Gehazi, is it time? Because there is a time for everything. You understand? There's a time for everything. And the phone, they call it smartphones now. It's so tempting. Even to an agbalagba, it's so tempting. It's so addictive. Not to talk of giving a young girl or boy that naturally something they look for something that will, captivate them. So parents, one thing you should always ask yourself is it time to give your children phones? And let me say it again, please. I know we love them. That's why we buy things for them. Then don't just buying things. Sit down with your children. Ask them questions. So my young boy is almost 23 or whatever now, but from primary school, it's just like joke. I make it, the way some of you had made your children, don't talk to a girl, oh, hey, don't talk to a boy. So even when things are happening, they won't tell you. It's wrong the way you approach it. So they too cover up. And when they do the wrong things, you won't know. All right. Now, me that at least I'm a little bit close to you. I hear some of those stories. Hearing the three of you share those, 6 examples, it's it's something. So you are the guys that go to the field, seeing the things you see almost on regular basis. what solutions can you prefer? I know this thing had been it's something that had been for almost eternity. You understand? It's been for ages. It's a normal thing that happens. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? But what is the solution? The lives of people are being destroyed. So let me start with Dr. Oni.
Thank you once again, sir. The solution is multifaceted, and it's not just something one can coin to an area. I will just be paraphrasing or just touching it bit by bit. The first important thing that I think we need to know is that as the cell is the most fundamental unit of the human body, the family is also the fundamental unit of the society and the country and the world at large. So once we get it right at the family level, then getting it right in the broader level. And when we talk about a family, we are not just talking about the man and the woman, and probably the man, the woman, the children, their attitude, their behavior, their growing up, their upbringing, and a lot of other things. Like I tell people at times that boy you are raising is going to be someone's husband. That girl you are raising is going to be someone's wife, someone's mother, someone's aunt, someone's cousin. So you are not just raising the boy for yourself alone. So you are not, let me just do what I can do. No, the boy is not just for you, it's for the society at large. So if we get it wrong there, if you raise a monster, you can predict the ripple effect, because an uncle that's abusing a GS1 student shows you the level of demoralization that he has. Probably he too was not well raised, or probably he too had some challenges growing up, not taught in the way of the Lord. So the first thing is about family. We have to get it right. The man has to be the right man. The woman has to be the right woman. They have to come together and put hands together to raise the children. We don't need to be overbearing on our children and have to be looking out for everything they are doing. In Yoruba, they say, Oishomo Kiri, as if you are monitoring them everywhere. No, but we need to implant the truth, morals, the word of God into them, so that when they get out, when they are even in places where we are not there, they can take a true stand. Like the example of Daniel in the scriptures. Daniel got to a foreign land in Babylon. Same for Joseph. He was the Mrs. Potiphar asked him, come and have sex with me. Nobody's going to know. He said, no, I must not do this wicked thing. What the woman called pleasure, he called it a wicked thing. So one of the solution is that the parents need to get it right. Need to raise our children in a very godly home, in a very godly manner, implant into them right from young. The Bible talked about Timothy when Paul was talking to him. He said, I know that you have known God right from infancy. He said you have known the Holy Scriptures right from infancy. So there is no time that is too early to teach our children the word of God. Morning devotions, talking to them, and so that's one. Then two, still boiling down to the family. As fathers, we have, and as parents, we have to be very close with our children. Some of us parents, our children find it very easy to even talk to outsiders than to talk to us. A father must be the girl's first love. You must hug her. I love you. Let her feel the embrace of a father, so that she will not be having the first embrace from one stupid boy that was also not well raised. And that one will be calling what is not love as love for her. You know, if you have sex with me, that means you love me. You know, so parents, we need to be very close with our children. We should be their best friend. They should be able to talk to us. They should be able to share their feelings, share their opinions with us. You know, they shouldn't be able to say, don't tell my mommy. I can't, but I don't want my daddy to hear about it. You know, and then we parents, you know, I always say jokingly that maybe I will stop here. I think I've stressed so much on parents that the way we were raised, some of us that are maybe, I'm still a young man though, but some of us that are in our 40s, our 50s, the way we are raised is not the way we are going to raise these young ones coming. Like then I can remember, you can dare not face your dad. Who born you in God? Why you go and tell your dad this, you know? So, but we need to let that rapport be there now. And as parents, when our children tell us some things, we should not disbelieve them and say, you are lying. It's not true. You know, you're just cooking it up. You know, we should also trust our children. Some of the girls, I can remember we went to a girls' school and the girl was telling me, my mom is always shouting at me, you have gone to be with the guy, Abi. Where are you coming from? That guy has touched your body, Abi. When did you do your menses last? He said, my mom does not have trust in me. And I've not been with any boy. You know, if that girl is pushed to the wall, she says, okay, that thing you said, I'm not doing it. I will just do it. So we need to, so there is is multifaceted. The church, the mosque, the parents, the society, the school, you know, what they see on TV, what they hear, the phone, what the type of music we play around them, the type of friends they keep, and a lot of other things. Then once the home is problematic, once there is divorce in a home, like a woman of God, Reverend Fola Achudume, said something that I like. He said, a stepmother can never be like a true mother. You know, I watched on Facebook a woman who calls men to come and have sex with her stepdaughter to make money. The father is late, the mother is late. So she is with this 18 thereabout-year-old girl. She calls men in to have sex with her. She collects the money. And at times 50,000, 100,000, 200,000 for having sex just once with an 18, 19-year-old girl. It was the girl that went to report to someone that mommy is doing something to me. I don't like it. So once you leave your home, think about the children. Think about what is going to happen to them, except there are unreconcilable differences or there is threat to life. But as much as possible, let's keep to our home and God will help us. I will allow the other, my colleagues to also talk about the other solutions, sir. Thank you, sir.
You know, the last thing you said when somebody was going to talk about it, he said we were incompatible. The truth of the matter is that who is that husband and wife that when you married yourself, you were compatible? Your backgrounds were not compatible. Your exposures were not compatible. Your bringings were not compatible. So when you are now saying not compatible, everybody works on their marriages. You understand?
Yes, sir.
You know, Yorubas will say, if you are not going to eat yam because of yam, you will eat yam because of oil. And if you are not going to eat oil because of oil, you will eat oil because of yam.
Because of the yam.
If because of the lives of your children, if because of the future of the seeds that God has given you, you work on your marriage, for crying out loud. Even our salvation, what says the scripture? Work out your salvation with fear and trembling. Some of you have gotten married, you are not ready to work on your marriage. You want it to work itself out. I thought when I saw him or saw her. When you see people telling you 30 years of marriage, 40 years, 50, They are talking about 40 years of working and laboring to make sure that home stays as one.
Yes, sir.
Some of you, for any flimsy whatever, bro, you have left home. Even you are a Christian, you have left home and say, "That's my wife." You are affecting your children. Some of the children that get wayward so painfully is because their parents, they see the way things go between their father and their mom. And the children have to find a life of their own. Unfortunately, it's always the negative one. Work on your marriage, bro, sis. Work on it. Myself and my wife, we are working on our own. We are not compatible. I'm a sanguine. She is choleric. Me, I spend money. You have the one that frugal. We are incompatible. And we have stayed together for 29 years. And like a Yoruba program, there was a drama, Ishe ati Aso, you know, the two of them were opposite, yet they will fight every day, yet they will not allow anybody to come between them. Anybody that is poor, they will always grumble all over the place, but they are married, yet they are not compatible. You better be careful destroying the lives of your children because of one useless girl you are seeing outside. That was how you saw her mother. All right. All right. I think you need to be very careful. Those children are not your own. They are heritages of. So he borrowed you these children. So you are a caretaker. So when it's time for you to give account, part of the account you will give God is that the children I borrowed you to help me keep. What did you do with their lives? All right. Because of time, let me go to Toyin now, and then Lolade, I will take you. So, from your end, see, what do you think? What are the solutions you think we can that will help us at least? I can't talk about eradicating, but at least minimize. And of course, I'm really particular. Yes, I love every home, but I'm particular about Christian homes where the devil is coming in like a thief, not only in the night alone, he comes like a thief during the day and then he robs you. Nothing you can do. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much again. Once again, if we are looking at what to do, just like what my brother said, Dr. Oni said, it's a broad discussion. It's wide. It's something that we cannot, but we'll just try one or two things. I'll just say one or two things in bringing out solution to this issue, this challenge that we know it has been just from one floor, has been for ages. So one of the things that I would like to say is that love in the home. One of the weapons that I know helps home is that when there is love between the parents, it goes round and it comes to the children. When the children feel that, yes, we are secured in this home, but once they feel that, yes, they are not secure, that there is insecurity in this home, in fact, for them to share anything with the parents is number one problem, because they have seen how the relationship between the dad and the mom, how it is. They have seen the brutality, they have seen how their dad is treating their mom. So they already have a kind of hatred for the dad because they have seen the relationship of the two. So love is number one. If the Lord will help us, and I know God is helping every Christian home, let these children see the love of God in your marriage, in your home, in your relationship. Once they see it, they feel secured. If anything happens to them, they will talk, they will tell you. Before it goes out of hand, there will be help for them. So love is one of the things. Then two, trust. We should, as much as possible, trust our children. Even if you are seeing some traits of they are doing something contrary, trust them. Let them see it in you that you trust them. Once they can see that trust in you, they will not be afraid of coming to you to tell you anything. And if you are doubting, let them know that you are doubting out of love, not out of hatred, not out of disbelief, but out of love. You want to cross-check. Then there's this understanding among some parents that I don't want this girl or this boy to disgrace me. They're just being selfish. They're not ready to address the issue, but they just don't want their children to disgrace them. So they are trying all the protective measure. You can imagine a mother taking a 16-year-old girl for family planning. Just at least, if she's not pregnant, I'm safe. That's her own mentality. I don't want her to bring any shame or anything to the name of the family. So they are just being selfish. They are not showing that kind of love and acceptance of these children, understanding what they are really going through. So if selfishness is being handled, it will help them. They are looking at what will mar their name. So they want to protect it. They don't want to look at sexual purity as being pure, right from the mind to the acts. They want to look at sexual purity as don't disgrace me, don't get pregnant. Don't let any girl come to this house that you are the one responsible for this pregnancy. They're already buying even protective measures for their boys. As small as 15, 16. Is that bad? So selfishness should be handled, trust should be there, and love should be there. Thank you very much, sir.
All right, thanks, T. Dr. Oni, I want you to talk about sex education. Thank God you're a medical doctor, so I'm in safe hands. When is the right time for parents to start teaching their children sex education? Because I also see that as part of the problem. These children are naive. They don't even know anything. Do you understand? They don't know anything. Nobody tells them what this is. Nobody tells them. But of course, because they are human beings, they have the conscience. And everybody knows what is right or wrong, even when you can't properly place it. You know? So when should be the right time for parents to start teaching their children sex education? And how is the best way to do it?
Okay, thank you so much, sir. With regards to sex education, I might not be able to put a particular age that this is the age, but from when the child can really understand one or two things, from like age 2, from even pictures, we can start letting them know the picture of this is a man, this is a boy, this is a girl. What differentiates a boy from a girl? You know, even from when they are that young. Once the child is like, at least look at the picture and realize little differences. So I would say maybe from like age 2 thereabout. And there are different materials that can also help parents, So we start letting them know this is what is called your private parts or your vagina. Most times we try and use some funny names and say your bum bum, your this one, your kokoro. Let's call it the name it is right from when they are young, so that when someone wants to deceive them outside, they will tell you, Mommy, someone put his penis inside my vagina, or someone used his hand inside my vagina. So as early as we can, I think we should start teaching them. And there are different materials, like different books. There are some that are in pictures. There are some that are audio. There are some in PowerPoint or slides that we can use. But basically, we should let them know. Then we should let them know values, how to value themselves, dignity, what they stand for. As from when they are young, we should let them know your private part is not just your penis. It's not just, for a girl, it's not just your vagina. Your breast is part of your private part. Then your mouth, you've seen cases where uncles will put their penis inside the girl's mouth and ask her to suck, So the mouth is also a private part, and we should let them know that if anybody touches your private part, let your parents know. Those are part of sexual education. And then we should, as much as we can, we should let them know that most times these perpetrators will say, if you tell anyone, I'm going to kill you, you will die. You will do this. You will not see tomorrow. If you tell, I'm going to kill you, you should let the children know that your private part belongs to you alone. It should not be touched by someone else. And if anybody touches it, they're trespassing. And this are what should be done for trespassers. You see a boy touching a girl's breast and say, I'm just playing with you. Or you see the uncle touching the girl's buttocks and saying, I'm just playing with you. We should let our children know what and what is expected. And we should also, maybe this will be for older ladies, their own defense mechanisms too. Defense mechanism, I don't know if that will be captured as part of sex education, but their own defense mechanism, when you are alone or for one reason or the other, you are alone and there is nothing you can do, you should know what you have to defend yourself. There are places you can hit a man that the man, at least for some brief seconds or minutes, the man will have to stand and stay still, and then you can maneuver your way out or cry for help. So by and large, I think those are one of the ways we can teach them our sexual education, and we can start as early as possible. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, doctor. And of course, like whether in security or in whatever, when you find yourself in a state that you think is not correct for you, shout. Shout. So parents, teach your children to know how to shout. The first thing that a culprit will do is that don't talk, don't talk, don't talk, don't talk. Teach your children to do the opposite. Daddy, mommy, come and see you. You understand? Because the devil likes darkness, he likes that cover. Tell your children to always walk in the light. Shout. Shout. All right. Thank you so much, doctor. Lolade is having issues with her network. So let me go to Toyin now. All right. So some of the, okay, what I want you to talk about, maybe a little of sex education also from a lady's side. What, when and what should be said to the children?
Okay, thank you. Sex education, just like Dr. Onis said, start from when the child understands instructions, understands little communication. And starting sex education let them know what the parts of the body that we call privates. We have a lot of charts and we have a lot of teaching aid on that. Let them know as small as 2. Just like Dr. Oni said, some will say kokoro. It is not kokoro. Say the real name. If it is the penis, say the penis. If it is the vagina, let the child know this is my vagina. Tell them the part. And there's a song that we used to sing. I've forgotten the song now. That teaches the private parts. What do you do to the private parts? You keep it. What do you do to the public parts? Anybody can touch it, anybody can hold it, anybody, that's the public part. And once they get used to this one as they are growing up, some children are so wonderful. They ask questions. Don't waive such questions. That's the kind of approach to teaching them, sitting them down to teach them. Like a friend of mine, her son just asked her one day, I said, Mommy, where did a baby comes from this big tummy? Is the baby coming from the mouth? Are you going to vomit the baby out? Or you are going to bring the baby from the place where you used to poo-poo? So my friend used that as an opportunity to teach him sex education. She just went to the market, got a chart of stage growth, private parts, stages in pregnancy and everything. The boy was like 5 then. So she used the opportunity to lecture the boy, and he got it right. And he brought in some other things to it, that this one, nobody must touch it. And you don't undress. When you have strangers, any stranger that asks you to undress, you shout, you scream. So little things like that, you let them know. If anybody is trying to, as simple as kissing you, tell your parent, tell your mommy. It's starting from that. As little as just tapping your bum bum, let your parents know about it. So once that is known to them from their younger age, there is this trust in them. And another thing that I have seen that I understand is, when you are feeling somehow, for example, as a parent, you are having menstrual cramps, menstrual pain, you are looking at your small boy as if he doesn't understand. You're just saying, yeah, it's my stomach. Let him know I'm having menstrual pain. He wants to ask you, what is menstrual pain? Use it as an approach to let them know. That's part of sex education. Anything that is happening to you, you are getting to a stage in life that you are entering menopause. Let your boy, let your girl know about it. That's sex education too. You take them through it, and when they are having anything, when they are feeling somehow or experiencing anything, they are free to talk to you, because you too, you've been open to them. They have heard you say a lot of things, even about yourself, to them. So it will not be something strange to them to tell you anything. So be free. Use yourself as a specimen for them to grow, for them to understand what we mean by sex education. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tony. And I think another wrong perception is that when it comes to sex education or all those things, everybody always think that it should be the woman or the mother that should always teach the children. Sincerely speaking, is wrong. Fathers start getting involved. You know, when we are talking about this now, what some men will say is his mother that didn't teach her. Daddy, what are you doing? She was the only one that gave birth to her, Abi. Teach your son the right thing. Teach your daughter. When I ask my daughter about her menses and everything, at first the first time I was asking, she was shy because she was thinking his mommy alone that should know. But you are my daughter. And I deliberately did that for her to make her know that No. There are some things that when they go wrong with you, you are afraid to tell your mom, you are afraid to tell me. Do you understand? So, daddies, don't stand aloof and become abata that just that don't know how to say that in English. But atakete obodo tan, as if let me leave. All right. It's at the end of the day, our daddies, when things go wrong, you'll be so amazed that mommy will take, few lashes from God for whatever goes wrong. You are the head.
Mm.
Something is going wrong under your roof. And it's them now, it's their mother. Bro, you are going to take plenty lashes from God. So you better wake up to your responsibility and start shielding and protecting your children from scavengers. All right. So I think we need to be wrapping this up. If you have any question, even though we are not doing this live, if you have any question, please put it in the chat session below. I will pass it on to the scout team and they will respond there. So you need to keep coming back to review or check the comment section of this YouTube channel. Below this video, they will take time to answer your questions. Please don't be shy. Ask those questions. We are where we have found ourselves now because we were too shy to ask some questions long ago. Now things are going wrong. Would you still keep quiet? And if it's going to be a private whatever, get in touch with me. I'll pass your phone number to them and then they will cancel you. So let's begin to wrap up. So activities of Scouts, is membership open or is closed? And then of course, what do you cover the whole of Nigeria and everything? So we need to know more about how you operate. Dr. Oni, I want you to take that.
Thank you, sir. Scout, like I said, it's a Christian NGO, and we have a team all over the world. So we also have Scout Diaspora. We have some of our members in Finland, in US, in UK that are also involved. They might not be doing it as aggressive as we are doing it here because of some of the laws, really hampering them. But they are doing more of online teachings and online programs and online workshops. So for us in Nigeria, we have teams all over Nigeria: Scout Jos, Scout Abuja, Scout Lagos, Scout Ondo, Scout Delta, and so on. We have team leaders. We call them team leaders in all of those areas. So the membership is open to everyone, but one of the criteria is that you must have a passion for this work, because it's a voluntary service. You are not being paid, and it's not something you do because I just want to get involved, because there will be some challenges. You have to be, once you are focused and you have the mind that you want to do it. So that's one. Then you should also be a Christian. We prefer that because of some of the experiences we have seen on the field. So we have trainings for members who wants to join us. We have trainings at intervals. Coincidentally, I don't know, this is an advert I didn't pay for, We are having another training September 1 and September 2 right here in Abeokuta. So we have trainings at intervals for new members who wants to join us. And so once they've undergone training, they are given certificates that they have been trained by us. That's by School of Virtue, which is our mother body. And then once we've been trained, we prefer that we join our local chapter. But we also advocate that for those who are in areas where we don't have scouts per se, they are also free to go and start sexual counseling outreaches on their own. We are not particular about, oh, you must be in School of Virtue or you must be with scout. Our goal is that the work is done and that as many teenager or as many child we can reach are reached. But if you want to stay with scout, we prefer that you join a local chapter. So for instance, in Abeokuta, we have the Abeokuta chapter. We have a WhatsApp group. So on our WhatsApp group, we post, we're going to so school on so day. This is our meeting point. This is who is taking who. When we get there, usually we do a three-prong approach. We do a general talk. That general talk, we talk to those children how to stay sexually pure, some of our own experiences. Like I tell them, one story I tell often and often is my challenge with pornography while growing up and how God helped me. So we share our own personal experience. And then after the general talk, we now do questions and answers in which the students can ask any question whatsoever. There are times you even need to send some teachers out of the place because some of those students will not want to ask some questions in front of their teachers. So after the question and answer session, we now have a one-on-one counseling session. And then it's in that one-on-one counseling session that we get to realize some of the victims and how we can help them. We leave our phone numbers, they can call us, then we relate to the principal of those schools, we go for follow-ups, and then some very challenging cases that we see that we really need to follow up, we get the numbers, we probably attach one of our members to such victims, especially the person that counseled them, that you have to be calling this girl, or you can even probably go to the school on outside scout outreaches now. Just go to the school. Sometimes we hand them over to the school's guardian and counselor personnel and like that. So that's basically what we do. So the membership is open. We want more members because we have challenges with members, especially the men. Most times we see a lot of our women going to schools that are no brothers to follow them. So membership is open. You can join us, but you have to be trained because these things have some peculiarities. And then we also work with some other bodies, like Scout is part of CPN, Child Protection Network, and then we have some other bodies because there are occasions that we see some victims, we might not have that capacity to go to the law court and then fight for them, but there are some bodies that can take that up. So we just pass that to them. Some students might need shelter, and then maybe some students might even need scholarship to help with their education. We don't have the full capacity for that now, so we can push to the relevant bodies to follow that up. So by and large, that's what we do. And then we come together, Scout Lagos, Scout, once in a while we come together, we share ideas, we rub minds, we ask what challenges are you having, how do we learn from Lagos people, how do we learn from just and the things like that. So basically, that's it, sir.
So much. I think that's detailed enough. Do you have social media handles or website or something that people can follow you? Um, you have anything?
Yes, sir. We have yes, we have the website for School of Virtue. That's www.schoolofvirtue.org. That is our broad website. That's www.school as in full, SCHOOLOFVIRTUE as one like that. So www.schoolofvirtue.org. So under that, we now have different other, like if you see my shirt now, you will see scout.schoolofvirtue.org on my t-shirt. So you can, this is specifically for Scout, scout.schoolofvirtue.org, specifically for Scout. But once you go to our website, you see Scout, you see some of our other activities. Then we have a WhatsApp group that I can give out to, and then we have our Facebook and other social media channels too. But basically, you can get everything from our website.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Oni. So please check the website, check the Facebook. You would actually see School of Virtue. If you're interested in being a member of the Scout, please just drop a line, and then I'm so sure someone will get in touch with you. All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Oni. I'm so grateful. So in closing, Lolade, welcome back. Now, we've spoken so much about the victim, we've spoken so much about the appearance. Now, now let's speak about the culprits. What will be if you are standing and actually you are sitting before them because they are watching? What will be your word to the people that defile these young ones?
Okay, thank you, sir. Okay, my word to people defiling the young ones.
Yeah.
Like the time we normally divide, when we go to schools, we normally divide the students into boys and girls. So there was a time that because of lack of men on the field that day, I spoke with the boys. And I know that seated in front of me will be some of the culprits. So I told them everything one does in life is a seed that will be reaped. And the harvest is always more than the seed. So whatever you are sowing now that you don't want to reap in the future, especially in the lives of your children, it's better you don't sow it now. And if you have sown it, I told them to beg their creator that seed should die. They should repent, never do it again, and beg God that seed should die. It should not germinate. Because if it germinates, their children are in trouble. Some of their generations are in trouble. And some of them, on the other side, they were also abused. And a damaged person will continue to damage another person, continue to damage another person. Some were defiled. Some boys were defiled by their housemates, just like we are talking about. So they need to also cry out. Most boys don't speak out. But if you know that this is a fire that I am carrying, and it is burning me, and it is making me to burn other people, I am doing what I am raping girls, I am doing what I don't want to do, then it's better you cry out for your own sanity. So that one day you don't get prosecuted, you don't get hanged, you don't get sentenced into 30 years imprisonment under the law, under Nigerian law. And even imprisonment is even minute to what judgment and punishment God will give such.
Thank you so much.
Everybody has a room to repent. Now, sorry, sir, I quickly wanted to drop a word for parents and the society at large. Now, a damaged mother who has not recovered from abuse will carry transfer of aggression to her children, will not be welcoming, will not be open to love, because she herself is still hurting. So I want to encourage any mother or father that was damaged, that was abused, and is still indirectly, you think you were healed, but you are in, please talk to daddy. please just send a DM to Daddy Olubodi that this happened. I don't know if it is still affecting me or it has not affected me, but just speak out. Like what we cry out, not in, talk to me. Just cry out somehow. I don't know if it is, if it's still affecting me or not, but at so stage of my life, something happened to me. I just want to cry. So the first solution is to cry out. Now, the second part that I wanted to share is that all these girls and these boys that are carrying these heavy burdens on their shoulders, they are everywhere around us. They are in our churches, they are in our mosques, they are in our classrooms, they are on our streets. We just feel they are rebellious, we just feel they are moody, we just feel they are nagging, we just feel they are disrespectful, whereas there are issues underneath them. There is a need to disciple, there is a need to deliberately love. There is a reason why I call every girl around me sweetheart, darling. I hug them. So that they will find ownership inside of them. They will know that they have a part in me. So when something is happening, they can see Auntie Lolade to run to. So I just want to please encourage everyone on this call and everyone that watched this video. Please be a shoulder. Be somebody that the children around you, teens around you, can walk up to when they are in crisis and when they need encouragement too. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much, Lolade. Thank you. Maybe I should give Toyin Olubodi just 30 seconds, something, and in closing, and then we can wrap up.
Thank you so much, sir. 30 seconds, I'll try. I'll still talk to the parents and I'll try to talk to our wonderful children too. To all our parents, just know that you are caretakers. God is watching. God knows whether you do it right or you are doing it otherwise. And to all our wonderful children, in case you are watching, I want you to know that God loves you. He created you for a purpose. So just be conscious and be deliberate about it, that the purpose of God for your life, you want it to be fulfilled. So anyone that wants to cut short that purpose, expose such. Don't just keep quiet. Expose such. So that purpose of God for your life can come to fulfillment. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much, T. Thank you, everyone. Dr. Oni, thank you. Lolade, thank you. Toyin Olubodi, thank you.
For having us.
The of you. Thank you for coming tonight to enlighten us, and of course, let us know that there is hope even for the wounded, and there is also coverage or covering for those that are out there that somebody is trying to prey upon. Thank you so much. I know a lot has been said tonight, but a lot of it has to do with you parents. Please create time for your children. Time for your children. It's just like wives that will tell their husbands, thank you for the car, thank you for the freezer, thank you for the jewelries. But it's not the gift I married, it's you. Be there for me. The same thing goes for the children. Be there for your children. Take time to always bond with them. Of course, bonding with them is very key so that they can always open up to you. They can see you as a friend. Daddy, be a friend to your children. Mommy, yes, I know you need to discipline them, but first be a friend. Who says friends don't discipline friends? In fact, it's much easier to discipline them because they are your friends than when you are just one tiger over here, Margaret Thatcher. It doesn't pay you. You understand? It doesn't pay you. All right. Children out there, maybe you are still a teenager, you are now a youth. Some of you've even graduated from university. Somebody has wounded you when you were young. You were defiled, you were abused, and up till now you've not told anyone. It's time to let it out. Trying to let it out. At times you just feel as if um, something is eating you up inside. You understand? There was a lady that got to marriageable age, and they just described that she was not even showing any interest for any guy or anything. And then when they started probing, they discovered that she was abused and defiled by, I think, a relative when she was younger, and she had made a conclusion in her heart: two things, God will never forgive me, and number two, all men are like that man, so none of them is worth marrying. They have to really do deliverance on her before she could, lot of counseling, lot of talk, lot of prayers before she could break that mindset. You understand? So you are not the one that is supposed to suffer. If anybody is supposed to suffer, it's not you. Stop blaming yourself. If I didn't go to that house that day, if only I didn't do this. No, stop being hard on yourself. Talk to someone. Can talk to me. Can talk. I tell you, your secret is safe with me. Your secret is safe with me. And like I tell people, when it comes to things like this, they will say, and I tell them, there's nothing you want to say that I've not heard about before. And you are not the only one going through it. It's just like some people that don't like going to hospitals, especially because the doctor, when I tell the doctor my ailment, the doctor might say, actually, the doctor have seen more than what you are going through. And is trained not to be shocked. Even he has not seen it before, he's trained not to be shocked. You understand? So you can confide in me. And if I need to pass you on to the scout team, I will do that. But please start crying out. Cry out. Don't cry in again. And don't feel like if I expose the person, it may do anything to me. It will not do nothing to you, because you're even afraid that maybe you have spoken to somebody or you have said something to somebody. He too is afraid. So expose him so that he too can receive help. All right. And if you are the one that is always destroying other people's children's lives, I know it becomes an habit. And so unfortunate, some of you are Christians. You need to stop it. Please stop it. If you too discover that you have been hooked, you need to cry out also. You understand? Cry out. Cry out, and the Lord will help you. All right. Yes, saying we always thrive in secrecy. Secrecy. So that's why the devil say, don't let them know. Don't let them know. Let people know. Let people that need to know. And you receive your deliverance. In fact, just saying it out. For some of you, that's the old deliverance you need. That's the old deliverance. Sorry that I keep talking, but somebody must receive help today. Just like the servant of the king that, mistakenly killed the king's dog, and then another servant saw it, and the servant started intimidating, and he enslaved the servant that killed the dog, and said, if you don't do my own work, I will go to the king and I'll say, you killed the king's dog. So when they serve the servant food, this other one that is bullying him will come and say, give me your food. And I say, Shebi is my food. He say, pe. Pepeye, dog in Yoruba is pepeye. I say, pe. Once he say pe, that one will hand over the food. And this guy was growing lean. This guy was getting sick. just because he will not confess that I killed the king's dog. And one day the guy just said, worst case scenario, the king will kill me. Summoned up courage, went to the king and said, sir, I didn't know I was going to tell you. I'm sorry, sir. I'm the one that killed your dog. And you know what the king said? He said, I saw you the day you killed it. I was only waiting back for you to come back and tell me, sir, I mistakenly killed your dog. You never came. And the king now said, I even saw the one that is capitalizing on your mistake to punish you. And the king said, I forgive you, go. So the guy, of course, got relieved. He left. And I think the next time for his meal, they gave him this food. And this other guy came and said, give me your food. And I said, no. He said, Pe. And I said, you are trying to say Pepe here. He said, I've already told the king. And that was when the shackles of the devil, that other guy, was broken. Say your own Pepe here out and receive your deliverance. It just say it. Pepe here. This was what happened. All right. God bless you. Dr. Oni, thank you. Lolade, thank you. Toyin, thank you. I really appreciate the three of you. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, sir.
Thank you. Viewers at home, I hope you've been able to glean something out of tonight's episode. This is not the usual way we go with through it all, but I mean, what should be usual? Everything should be unusual. All right. So, whatever you have had that you need to do right, go now and do the right thing. All right. So, True It All comes every Thursday. I'm coming your way next Thursday again by God's grace and mercy with another wonderful guest. Leave your comments below, drop your questions. My three guests also will be checking the comment section so that they can respond to your questions. Like this video, most especially, please share it with people that you think need to hear some of the things that have been shared tonight. And if you've not subscribed to this channel, please do so. The Lord will keep blessing you. The Lord will keep you. He will make his face to shine upon you. He will be gracious unto you. His hand will rest upon you and he will give you peace. All right. God bless you and have a very blessed night. Bye.